Hello, this is Cuckoo. In New Zealand, on the other side of the planet from where I'm now, there is this small company called Synthstrom Audible. They make this, the Deluge. This is a great synthesizer, groove box, sampler. You can do a lot of stuff with this. It's a great all-rounder. It's got MIDI sequencing, it's got CV sequencing. Yeah, it's really good. And it's got FM synthesis, which I'm a big fan of. But what I've been wanting to do for a long time is to create a sample pack specifically for the Deluge. With sample packs, though, you can use them on whatever sample you want. Like the Octatrack, for instance, is great with samples. And if you squeeze it a little bit, you can get it into something like the OPZ or the OP1 and any sample you want. But what's so special about this sample pack is that I went to New Zealand. I went to Wellington and I went to Synthstrom Audible's office and I crept around there and recorded the people working with the Deluge. Yeah, I tried to make like a really interesting acoustic Deluge sound pack. So that's what I've done. But of course, it's just samples, so you can play them on any sample you want. In fact, in this pack, there is specifically some stuff that is formatted for the Octatrack, so it's sliced up and ready to go. And there's also a number of packs ready to go as kits for the OP1 and OPZ. So yeah. I'm dying to show you what it's like and to give you a little peek of what it sounds like. It's in stereo, so any sampler that can play stereo is going to sound really immersive. But of course, I've converted it to mono as well. So it's just mono and stereo, what you prefer. Yeah, this is what it sounds like. Right, so the Deluge, it's got a SD card right here, and you can fit as much as you like. All right, so this is the pack, stereo, mono, is the Teenage Engineering format, is the Octatrack slice. So these are the originals. I'm just going to copy this folder with over 500 samples. I'm going to go over to the Deluge and go into samples and put them in here. All right, done. All right, it's the default state. Let's create a kit instead, and shift and kit will create a new kit for that. So we're on the SD card here. Let's find the Deluge. Yeah, that's the folder. And dang, you can immediately preview the files like this, streaming really fast from the card. Yeah, back out. DOM is more like third toms. Tapping things. Go back out. Dish is more like this, like snare drum type of sounds. Hiss is more like upper frequencies. And then we got pick, which is more like handling objects, fiddling with stuff. Yeah. And then we've got say, which is going to be a little surprise. I captured just a few vocal samples from the office. And then a third is more of a bass heavy sound. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's nice and crunchy. Yeah. Record. Nice. Yeah, so the Deluge, very nice little machine. Let's try another one. Right, let's try the Octatrack. Left, right. So with the Octatrack, of course, you can use the same library with all the individual files, but if you'd rather have ready-made slices, let's get into the Octatrack folder, and you got a bunch of files here that I prepared specifically for the Octatrack. So when it says a number afterwards, like 32, it's a selection of files. If you want all of the files, just take the full folder with all of the files. But here with the slicers is a selection of files. So when I named it, for instance, this dang 32, that means I've created 32 patches on a grid, so you can easily use the function in the Octatrack to automatically create a slice grid. And like here, I said dang 32A, 32B. These are two different sets of samples, but the dang 64 is both of those combined into one bigger file. So whether you like to save some memory and just have one of them, or have all of them, it's up to you. Okay, so just copy all of these files and put them on a place on the memory card that makes sense to you. So what I do here, first of all, I'm going to select flex machine. What I'm going to do is to turn slicing on all of them. Cool. So let's load some stuff. Deluge slices. So I'm going to take dang 64 there, load it in on slot number 2. DOM 64, slot number 3. Dish 32. So now let's create slice grids. Like so. Go into the slice tab. Then you press yes in the slice page. And you go down there and say create slice grid. And then you read whatever the file name says. It says 64. And you know that this is 64 slices. And I've tried to be very, to place everything correctly. So you shouldn't need to use the zero crossing a line, but you could do it anyway just to be safe, to not have any of these clicks and pops. Yeah, and then you do that on all the tracks. It's okay. Okay, that's cool. How about this? Okay. Okay. That's cool. Some of these metallic ones. Ooh. Ooh. I like these. Cool. And then we've got it requires finesse. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Octatrack. Next up is, yeah, let's take this one to see what the, haven't used it in a while. How about this? It's launch transfer. Yeah, connect. So let's take these, just pop them in there. There you go. So these are in mono, so we'll lose some of that spacious, but we can get it back with an excellent reverb. Some reverb. Make it shorter perhaps. Edit the reverb. 1 and 2. And yeah, some of that. And you know, it's up to you to be creative and create everything you want. So yeah. So let's try the Epic OP1. Turn it on. Connect it to the computer with a very old USB cable. Press Shift and COM. Go to disk mode. Okay, so here we need to use these files here, and I created 2 different versions of everyone because on the OP1 and OPZ you can determine what playback you want every sound to be played back at. If you take this one, the hold one, then you're going to be played back and for as long as you hold the key, whereas the trig version is going to be played back fully. Sometimes it's cool to have hold, sometimes it's cool to have trig. And you can edit that yourself on the devices, but I just thought I'd create something for you. I'm going to take these. Let's go to the OP1 here, and these are kits, so they're going in the drum folder. I'm going to create a folder here called Deluge, and just paste all of them in there, and done. And now the OP1 in this case is going to determine, gonna recognize the patches and put them into the right place. Okay, so they should be here on the drum page. Press shift and any of the slots, and let's see, Deluge. There we go. Yeah, this one playing the whole sample, hold, playing for as long as you hold, and okay, that's cool. Yeah, the OP1 is still magical. Cool, I like this. Cool, let's turn it off. Yeah, so if you liked any of that and you want this sample pack for yourself, go to my web store, store.truecuckoo.com, and download the pack over there. And just mix and match and put in whatever sampler you want, Ableton Live or whatever makes sense to you. And if you're supporting me on Patreon on a monthly basis, thank you so much for that. It means a lot to me. You also got access to this pack, but you know that already. Yeah. So what are you waiting for? Go download my pack. Thank you so much.